Ireland Conference, coming my way into North Carolina. Staring at the road, praying to God I see headlights. I made it down the coast, 17 hours. I was picking me a bouquet of dogwood flowers. Over rally, I can see my baby tonight. Everybody, rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, mama, rock me. Running from the road, up in the wind, and I was born to be a filler in an old-time string band. My baby plays the guitar, take the banjo now. Well, there's no country, we just keep forgetting me. I lost my love and pain, so I had to run away. But I ain't turning back to live that old life no more. Woo! Rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, hey, mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, hey, mama, rock me. Walking down south, down the road, no car, tripping around a feeling had a nice long tour. East head west from the Cumberland Gap to Johnson City, Tennessee. Well, I gotta get a move on before the sun. I hear my baby calling, and I know that she's the only one. If I die riding, at least I will die free. Rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, hey, mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, 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 mama, rock me. One more time. Rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, 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 mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, hey, mama, rock me.
So, I laughed with that one too. Okay then, folks, I'll finish up there. And like I say, I haven't done MC before. Where's Eamonn now? Where's my?
It's hiding.
Ah, yeah. So, I want to introduce this man, but I have lost now my notes. Yeah. Lovely. Do you want to work? Yeah.
I can't hold
Oh, that's okay.
it.
Okay then, folks, I would like to introduce you now to our next speaker. And this is a man that I don't see very, very often. And he's one of those gentlemen I would love to take for a pint to sit down and have a conversation, because you know, he's a man I've been meaning to meet and talk to for a long, long time, but we just never seem to actually get to meet anywhere. So I'm hoping over the next couple of years we'll actually get time even to sit down, because I really admire the work that Eamonn does. And you could, I had to find a little bit of research on you, Eamonn. Do you know? I don't know if you're aware of where I got this, but basically I got this. Right, okay. So Eamonn basically began what it says here, maybe the first study group in Ireland of A Course in Miracles, but I'm pretty sure that it was. Do you know? So Eamonn's been going since 1997, and he's been running a group here in the city centre for the last 25 years. And you know, I greatly, like I say, admire this man, and he has a wealth of experience. He is, you know, one of those true teachers that's out there. He teaches the levels without even him being aware that he teaches the levels. And, you know, he's an inspiration to so many people here. And I'm not going to, you know, add much more to this, but just to say, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mr. Eamonn Perkins.
Thank you very much indeed. And I hope you have a great day, super day here. I like the venue, I think it's a great venue. I spent some time a few years ago in Dublin. Okay.
Hello?
You're going to have to,
Yeah, you're going to have to kiss it.
okay. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, welcome to A Course in Miracles, and my commiserations in doing A Course in Miracles. It is 25 years, probably more than 25 years that I've been doing this book. The difficulty is that you realise after many years studying it that you actually don't like what it's saying. And you need to be that honest with yourself, because it's asking a lot. It's asking for you to give up yourself. That's its ultimate aim. And it's asking you to give up the world. Now, I kind of like the world. I like my kids, and I like my grandkids, and I like Anne. But it is asking me to give up the world. And my attachment to the world, as Michael would say. So yeah, it's Helen would say that 99% of people don't know what they're studying. There would not be 1.5 million copies of A Course in Miracles out there if people knew what it was about. Because it's not about making your life nicer. It's not. It's about looking at your life and looking at the things you do. I was reading recently that France is going to do something around prostitution or sex or something. Do you know that? What is it? To ban paying for sex.
Pay for sex.
Yeah. Well, that's all of our relationships gone, really, isn't it? I think we're all paying for sex. Because when Anne is nice to me, I'm nice to Anne. When Anne's not nice to me, I'm not nice to Anne. So get ready, because we're going to have to not pay for it, or maybe pay for it. Oh boy, how are we going to manage that one? You need to be motivated to learn this course. You really need to be motivated. And the only way that you can be motivated is to realize how you are in this world. The course says, you who are steadfastly devoted to misery must first recognize you're miserable. What's the point in learning this course if you don't realize you're miserable? What's the point in learning it if you don't realize that you've made a hames of it? Then you can ask somebody truly into your life that can help you. But if you don't know you're miserable, how can you ask for help? Because you're not asking for help. The course is not some kind of a, as Mick Furlong said to me, some kind of self-help. There's plenty of self-help groups out there, and if that's what you want, great, go for that one. Or if it's a course in miracles, fasten your seatbelt. Because you're going to realize, it's asking a lot of us. But if we realize that our life is miserable, that attacking people makes me miserable. But I don't get that. I don't get that attacking people makes me miserable. I feel justified in attacking people. That's what we do, isn't it? Recently I was talking to guys in work and I was asking them as men, what's it like when you walk down O'Connell Street at 12 o'clock at night? Because I know what it's like. I'm armoured. I'm ready for attack. I'm all the time in this mode of attack. Everyone is my enemy. Everyone is potentially my enemy. You've got to look at that and say, what's that about? Why am I so frightened of other people? I'm sitting on a park bench and somebody sits beside me and I'm, geez, what are you sitting beside me for? What's going on here? I'm terrified. You've got to see you're terrified. Because what's the point? If you don't know you're terrified, how can you get out of it? So that course helps you to realize how terrified you are. And is that nice? The course teaches you how vicious you are, how you want your needs met above everyone else. That's how it is. But then you call upon Jesus, and you call upon the Holy Spirit, and you call upon God. I have to talk to you about Jesus in the course. I have to talk to you about God in the course. What will help you with this course is realizing the God of the course is not the God of the Bible. The Jesus of the course is not the Jesus of the Bible. That's really important for you to see. Because after years of reading it, you realize this is not the same Jesus. The Jesus of the course believed in suffering. Sorry, the Jesus of the Bible believed in suffering. I think I just got to answer it. The Jesus of the Bible did things in the world. You know, the Jesus of the Bible believed he was a body. The God of the Bible, and I'm not getting against the Bible, I was a good Catholic, altar boy, my mother was a devout Catholic, and it helped her greatly. But for you to study A Course in Miracles and to move along, maybe in these stages that Mike was talking about, you've got to realize that the God of the Bible is not the God of the Course. The God of the Bible made the body. The God of the Course says, what body? He's trying to teach you there is no body. The God of the Bible made the world. The God of the Course in Miracles is saying, what world? The only purpose of the world is to teach you there is no world. The Jesus of Course in Miracles is not a person. So it's very important that we kind of get away from that kind of, because I hear people talk about, oh, well, Jesus said it in the Course. And it's like, oh, Jesus, if Jesus said it, it must be true, you know? And with time with the book, you realise that the Jesus of the Course is your right mind. It's a symbol that we use to help us, to take us to the next level, maybe. Jesus of the Course says that we are the same. And it's really important that if you see a difference between you and Jesus, you need some work to do. You know? Because we all see a difference. We go, oh, Jesus this and Jesus that. When I was a child, I used to be Jesus. So that will really help you if you really look at the idea that Jesus of the Course is not the Jesus of the Bible. And again, that motivation to do the course, you need to be able to call in the Holy Spirit or Jesus as a symbol to say, you know, help me unlearn. Because what we need to do is to unlearn what we know. We've overlearned about what it is to be in the world. And with the help of Jesus and his kindness and love, and that's what he is. He's a symbol of kindness, love, gentleness, and wisdom. He's an older brother who will bring us home if we allow him. And how he brings us home is he guides us, he gently nudges us along and says, no, it's okay. Don't be so frightened. Okay. And I think it's important that we realize that the Course is teaching us that we're wrong. We're wrong about everything. And why it's so Christian-based is because Christianity has the greatest influence in the world. All that we've learned about Christianity. Recently I was in a Muslim country and I was getting a taxi. It was Sunday morning. And I said to the taxi driver, it's very quiet here. And he said, it's Sunday. And I thought, and, you know, it's a Muslim country. So therefore, the influence of Christianity is in Muslim, in the Muslim faith. People believe in Sunday. So it's to unlearn what we've learned. It's the undoing. That's important. I have to look at these notes because I wrote some of these things down that I really wanted to say. Because I often come away and say, it's not about me giving a good speech or a good talk, it's about me being honest about my time in reading the course and what it's done for me. Something else that might be of help to you is to realise, and this is difficult, is to realise when you're reading the course, it's not talking to you as the body. I can't emphasise that enough. It's talking to you as a mind. The whole ego thought system is based on keeping you away from your mind. It is not talking to you as a body, as a person. You read it and think, oh, he's talking to me. The you that he's talking to is you as a mind. Because you as a mind, there is no separation. There's only one. There's only one mind. If there's a you, then there's somebody else, and somebody else, and somebody else. So I think that, or watch yourself read the book and think it's talking to you as a body. Because it's 3 times in the lessons it says, I am not a body, I am free. So, Jesus in the course is asking us to choose him as a teacher. Maybe he could do a better job than I've done. And I've got to be that humble to allow him, for me to step back and allow him to lead me in his teachings. I think another thing is that when we ask for help, or when we go to Jesus for help, is that we let him get on with it and stop telling him what we want and what we need. Because he knows. He knows what we need. He knows what we want. But we're telling him, oh, this is what I need, this is what I want, this will help me. So, just be quiet and allow that to go on with you. I have a couple of readings, because I think doing the course is about reading the course, as difficult as that might be. Because we pick up the book and we go, geez, what did that say? Or we have the lessons. By the time you get to the door, you've forgotten the lesson. That's your resistance to it. It's your resistance to the book. And you think your understanding, I used to think my understanding was important. I read it and go, God, I don't know what that's ever saying. It's driving me mad. Why couldn't you do it in simple English? Not realizing that was my resistance to it. My understanding is not that important. It's not that important that I get it and go, oh yeah, I got it. Who got it? My body might get it. What's more important is that I read it and I allow the course to reveal itself to me. I get out of the way. And I'm addressing I as a body. My mind is already enlightened. So it's this big deal about enlightenment and getting somewhere. Getting somewhere from where? You're not here. That's the hard part. We're all the time trying to fix something here, but we're not here. That's what the course is trying to teach you. You're not here. When you dream at night, you don't leave your bedroom. When you dream, as the course tells us, we dream that the world is a dream. We've never left heaven. We're there. We just need to remember, I've never left. I make such a big deal about this body. It's not capable of being enlightened. It's capable of using the knowledge that I have to extend my love. That's its purpose. I work with offenders, and I work with pedophiles, and I work with male sexual predators. And I give them what's missing. And what's missing is respect. I find that easier than dealing with the people at home. Strange, isn't it? I find that easier than dealing with Anne. I find that easier than dealing with the kids. The real work, my real work, is at home. My real work is people who come to A Course in Miracles who are driving me crazy. That's my real work. It's a lot easier to show respect to somebody who's just come out of prison after serving a long sentence. It's a lot easier. But when my son says something, oh, jeez. Or Anne says something, oh, jeez, it's off again. So the work is in our close relationships, it's in our intimate relationships. That's where the work is. You meet a stranger on the road and you can offer them forgiveness and kindness and love and compassion. We're asking to live with you. So let me just read something, because I have a note here. I really don't know what it says. It just, it was a good idea when I was writing it. I'm just trying to read what it says. How can you teach someone? Oh, wait, no. Sorry, wrong one. The ego and the spirit do not know each other. The separated mind cannot maintain the separation except by disassociation. We disassociate. We don't want to look at the ugliness in our life. We don't want to look at our secret sins and hidden hates. Can we talk about our hidden hates? Can you talk about your secret sins that nobody knows about but you carry around with you? This lady might be hyperventilating, I've said something. Do you know, that's the work of the course, is to take those things and take them to a loving presence who we call Jesus. Or you can call it anything you want to call it. If Jesus doesn't do it for you, you know, Moji or Muji or anything could be. So, let me just continue on. Having done this, it denies all truly natural in purpose. Not because the ego is a separate thing. The ego isn't a separate thing. It's a thought system that I choose. And if I get to look at my ego thought system, but look at it, I go, no, I don't want that anymore. That's the only way you're going to do this course, is by being able to look at your ego thought system and say, no, I've had enough of that. Your natural heart rhythm goes like that. It's called a sinus rhythm, medically. When you hold a grievance, your rhythm goes like this. It goes into a kind of a shock mode. And then it goes back to flowing like that. And then somebody cuts you off on the motorway and you scream and you're like that. And it goes into this again. So holding a grievance is not good for my physicals. Yeah? So we're asked to look at our grievances, as much as we like them, and say, this isn't good. This is not serving me anymore. I need to let go. There's a lesson, I love the lessons. There's such, you know, you can pick up a lesson in the morning and it can carry you through the day if you can remember till you get to the car. And then you forget the lesson. But literally there's a lesson that I love, it's God goes with me wherever I go. And if you just carry that lesson and try to remember it, it just changes your day completely. But also what you need to notice is your resistance to doing it. It makes me happier, but I don't want to be happier. It's strange. But if you look at that, then you go, that's mad. Why don't I want to be happy? Because I'm choosing a thought system that doesn't want to be happy. So that's mad. I have to let go of that. And that's what the work of the course is. Day in, day out, day in and day out. I've been running the study group. I'm not sure about the dates that Michael has, I think. But anyway, I've been running it for a long time. I've Mary Quinn over here. How many years, Mary?
1997, I think.
You started in 97?
You started.
Oh, I did I? Okay. That's great for me to know. And how long are you doing it?
Since 98.
Since 98. And Mary, what's for how long?
About 9 years now.
9 years. You see, I think you have to grow into the course with the hope that that's your faith, that there's something in this book. You know, I mightn't understand it. We used to have a lady at the used to come to the group, Ursula, many years ago. I don't know, 10, 12 years ago, maybe more even. And Ursula never understood a word of the course. Never. She used to come and say, I don't understand, but I love coming to the group. She was diagnosed with cancer. The book lit up for her. She was able to understand that when she had a terminal illness, She was able to understand every word of it. So she took great peace from it. And I think that's what keeps us going. That's what, there's small changes in our life that we grow into. We may have all the terminology of it and that, but there's a willingness for us to look at how we are in our daily life and surrender it. So, let me read something to you from 189, from lesson 189. If you have books. You don't seem to come to conferences with books. No, you don't bring your books, huh? You're top of the class.
I'm in Spanish as well. Spanish as well.
Oh, Spanish as well, fantastic. Lesson 189. Bear with me. I'm not as quick as I used to be. Yeah, 189. I'm going the wrong way. I think I'm probably a bit nervous, which I'm not generally. It says in paragraph 7, simply do this. Be still, lay aside all thoughts of what you are and what God is. All concepts you have learned about the world, all images you hold about yourself. Empty your mind of everything it thinks is either true or false or good or bad, of everything it judges worthy, of all the ideas of which it is ashamed. Here's an interesting thing. Of all the things that you're ashamed of. That's what A Course in Miracles is about. It's about bringing in things that I'm ashamed of. And I've been ashamed of quite a lot in my life. But we are. Because we're not different. But let's not use that shame to attack other people. Because we project that onto other people. Let's be honest. And you have to say, I'm ashamed of this in my life. And in the quietness, you take Jesus and you say, lead me out of this. And Jesus, again, is a metaphor for the love which is your mind. Who wrote this course? Your right mind wrote this course. Helen used to run from people when they said, could I have your autograph? She used to run from them. And they, people would ask her, maybe you could ask the voice for something in my life. And she said, you have the same voice in your head. What are you asking me to do that for? An interesting fact is that when she died, A Course in Miracles was not mentioned. How humble is that? Because if I wrote A Course in Miracles, you'd know about it. Maybe you'd be like me. You'd know about it. But she was so humble. The only thing she put her name to was her poetry, which I bought 14 years ago, and I started to read it in the last 2 years. It is wonderful. It is incredible, her poetry. She had more of a license to write this. She felt it was more her in it. But it's all spirit. It's all coming from our right mind. It's beautiful. And some of it comes from our frightened mind, which I can relate to. There's a wonderful poem, and it's called Bright Stranger, and how we keep Jesus away from us. Something I realized from reading the course, now I've gone off, so don't mind me, I'll come back to this reading, is how frightened I am of love. I'm terrified of love. I'm much more comfortable in my defenses. I'm much more comfortable in looking out at the world and seeing this is my threat. I'm much more comfortable with that. I'm terrified of love. And the problem is Jesus is a symbol of love. So I'm not that keen on going to Jesus. I have resistance to going to him. And I don't think anyone is different. I see it in my relationship with Anne. The very thing we both want is love. The very thing we're frightened of. We're afraid to be seen. Why are we afraid to be seen? Because we have things in our life that we're ashamed of. I used to say many years ago, Mary Rochford will remember, if you really knew me, you wouldn't like me. Do you have that? Do you? I think we all have that. And that's the very thing we need to look at. I'm ashamed of myself. But if we look at that, then we can be helped to move from it. Why am I holding on to, I'm ashamed of myself? Why do I think somebody is better than me? If I think somebody is better than me, I want them. Because they have it and I want it. So let me just get back to this one again here. Do not bring with you one thought the past has taught you, nor one belief that you have ever learned before from anything. Forget this world, forget this course, and come with holy, empty hands unto your God. But because of our Christian background and the influence that Christianity had, we're afraid of God. We're afraid that He's going to get us. What's 5?
5 minutes left.
Because God is a punishing God in the Bible. And we need to look at that. It's just that has an awful influence on you. I need to unlearn that stuff. God is love. We say God is and we cease to speak. The Quran, for instance, starts with, we say God is and there is no son. And it ends with, God is and there is no son. There is no Son of God. We say God is and we cease to speak. But Jesus, being kind, is giving us like little children. He doesn't want to say, oh, I don't know anything about the word here. No. But He doesn't know anything about the word. Why would He know anything about the word? We're at home. But because we believe in our shame, because we believe in if you really knew me, you wouldn't like me, we stop that. We stop that love from being who we are. And it's just about the ordinary things in life. I think in my study of the book for the number of years I've done it, I really don't want to be talking about the course. When I started, many people who know me a long time, I used to shut down people's throat. Say, oh, Course of Miracles, Course of Miracles, Course of Miracles. Now, I don't want to talk about it. I just want to live it. I just want to get on with it and just do my work. Because it says, in the part of it says, the sole responsibility of the miracle worker is to accept the atonement for himself. That's my job. From me. Because there is no you. Why am I teaching you? You have your teacher. It's your right mind, which is you. But because we're afraid to accept our right mind, we have symbols in the course, like Jesus. Oh, maybe it's a bit easier to accept Jesus because he's better than I am, he's wiser than I am, kinder than I am, gentler than I am. So ultimately, you drop everything. And you drop Jesus and you drop the Holy Spirit. And then God takes you home. And then God and you are not separate. But in the meantime, I've work to do. It's day in and day out, practicing. I'm not trying to be kind. Trying to be kind is not what it's about. Miracles are outside of my conscious control. If you're consciously being kind with somebody, then you're not miracle-minded. Miracles just happen. You meet somebody and you just have this wonderful conversation. Relax. There's no effort. You say, Jesus, be my eyes, be my hands, be my feet. Yeah? And then just walk into it. I had other stuff to say, and I had lots of, but I want to end with a little poem of Helen's. Cracking stuff at the start of it. It's called Christ's Need. My need. He needs my voice, he needs my hands and feet. He needs my eyes to look upon and bless our tired brothers weary of the world. People are weary of the world. I work with people who are weary of the world, who are addicted to drugs and alcohol. That's right. And they're frightened. And they take drugs and they commit crimes. They need to be loved. So that work I do, I need to just bring it to my family and do it with my family. It's the ordinary stuff I need to do. I need to do it with myself. I need to be kinder to myself, gentle. Because when I make a mistake, I attack myself. Oh, Jesus, there you go again. That's what we all do. We attack ourselves. And this is not a taught system of attack. It's a taught system of kindness. And yet, believing it is all there is. How can they learn except He teaches truly? I don't mean teaching a Course in Miracles. I don't mean sitting down with a drug addict and saying, oh, listen, I want to talk to you about a Course in Miracles. And there is no world. And, you know, it's like, Jesus, what are you talking about? What I do is I offer Him kindness. I make it about Him. And before Ken Wacklick died, and I'd be amiss if I didn't, you need to give me one more minute, Barry. I'd be amiss if I didn't do this. Make it about them. Make it about other people. Make it about your car. Make it about your home. Be kind to your chairs. Be kind to your cups. Be kind to your delf. Because the first lessons of the Course, it talks about cups and talks about these things, so that we can generalize it and bring it into everything. Make it about them. It's forget about myself. By my giving of my love, I feel better. When I withhold love, I feel awful. You know, when I have a row with Aaron and I'm lying beside her in bed and we can't touch each other. Like that. It's awful. But I think I get something from it. I get nothing from it. I need to look at that and say, that's insane. Why would I do that? Because she's wrong. Yeah, but I'm feeling shit like this. I'm not listening to this anymore. That's a Course in Miracles. And I thank you so much.
Wonderful, wonderful.